Welcome to Your Vote, the St. Joseph News Press Now's coverage of the upcoming municipal election. I'm reporter Quinn Ritzdorf, and with us is Gary Wilkinson. We're continuing our Q&A series with the mayoral candidates, and this time we will be talking about community pride and community involvement. Gary, thanks for doing this again.
Thank you, sir.
We'll jump right in. The first question, what is the role of mayor in your mind?
The role of mayor is as the official ceremonial leader of the community, and for all legal purposes. When you get into the meat of the matter, he is the cheerleader for the city, someone that emphasizes what we can do, what we can be.
And part of that cheerleading aspect is, bringing the entire community together, not only within the city department itself. So what steps would you take to enhance the relationship between, Buchanan County and also the St. Joseph School District?
Well, the county, the school district, all the civic organizations have a role in what our community becomes. Our community is a compilation of everybody that's in it. We're not large enough to be divided into factions. So whatever emphasis that we make that's going to make a difference, we have to be together to do it. So as mayor, I would talk to the leadership in the other entities and make sure that we're all on the same page so we can get the most out of what we're doing.
I don't know if this is fair or not, but a lot of people point to the school district as one of the big reasons why St. Joseph's population has declined. Whether people agree with that or not, I'm not here to argue that. But what could you do as mayor to encourage the transformation of the school district?
Well, the school district is suffering from things that have happened in the past that have gone on. They've had changes in leadership. I know some of these people. Hopefully, the new leadership that is coming aboard in the city, the leadership of the school district, can get together and come up with a plan that people can have confidence in. The leadership can only go as far as the confidence of the people, and you've seen that with the school district. So I think it's important that we get together, we establish that confidence.
With that, like I mentioned, the population of St. Joseph declined by about 5,000 in the last 10 years. How would you go about growing the population in the next 10 years?
Well, the appearance of a community can be seen as a reflection of how its residents see themselves. And I think with the city of St. Joseph, we need to develop a new attitude. And we're a historic city. We were established on the banks of the river by fur traders. We developed as a transportation hub and also as a hub for commerce for settlers as they were passing through. And at one point in time, we were one of the top 3 cities in the state. And for some reason, that progress stagnated, and we let other cities grab the reins and get ahead of us. Well, I think now it's time for us to start flexing our own muscles. And we need to get together and with the citizens, with leadership, and say, okay, we're a can-do community. And it all begins with attitude, I think.
A large portion, of that population decline is the younger generation. Mm-hmm. How would you keep the younger generation in town and not move out of it?
We need to have plans that can benefit the city. If we can get plans that benefit the city and they can see that the city is on track to get back to where it should be, I think those younger individuals will stay within the city. These are people well, let me start over. These people are very intelligent individuals. They have qualities that we can need. They have what the city is going to need in terms of developing our industries, developing our educational systems, developing our healthcare systems. They're very talented individuals. And that talent drain that we have suffered, this is something we need to stop.
You mentioned, the appearance of the city and that being, helping the population grow through the appearance. What about the lifestyle and, things to do in St. Joseph? How would you improve, the lifestyle in St. Joseph?
Well, the amenities that we have, they kind of piggyback upon the things that we talked about before, the infrastructure, the business availability, plans for businesses to improve. But also what goes along with that is the lifestyle, entertainment venues. We have opportunities. We have a riverfront that is waiting to be developed. We need to take advantage of that. We've had starts and stops along the way, but we need to have a comprehensive plan that can develop that riverfront. We also have Crook Park. It has some very good possibilities. We're taking advantage of those. I remember I used to take my kids up there and walk the trails behind there. Now those trails are being developed. That's going to be a big deal around here, not just around here, but in this whole region. So we're taking advantage of some of those opportunities, and we need to take advantage of more.
As mayor, how would you support city departments in their directors?
To develop or to support the city directors, it comes down from the top. The administration, the officials of the city set the tone, not only for the city, but not only for those departments, but for the whole city. We need to have administrators, we need to have policymakers. The council are the policymakers. We need to have policymakers and council members who are involved in developing a plan that those department heads are able to look into. But they can't do that unless they have the resources. We have to be able to provide them with the revenues that they can carry out these plans.
How would you increase the pride within residents in town?
Well, we increase pride within the residents in town by doing things so that they can have confidence in their leadership. The leadership presents a plan that's going to provide for the city to move forward, but they have to be implemented. So many times we'll come up and we'll talk and we'll talk and we'll talk, but there's no action. We need to start taking actions, and these actions need to be seen by the residents. That's how they're going to develop confidence in us. And then they're going to have, when they see the results, that's when they'll have pride in the community.
Kind of an aspect of that a little bit is, leadership roles and residents taking on leadership roles, whether it's committees or boards or things like that. How would you inspire residents to take on those leadership roles?
By giving them a part in the planning process. So often we'll have different organizations or agencies that will say, okay, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And so often it's the same people, time and time again. I think we need to take this out to the communities, get new people involved. And I see some of that happening too. This is happening more and more now. But we need to take advantage of that as a city and make sure that all areas of the city are represented in the planning process. Then when it comes time to provide the revenues for these issues, I think people will say, okay, we helped plan these things, so I think we can go with that.
Just to kind of end here, we've talked about a lot of different points and a lot of different changes you would want to make to the city to improve it. But what's the best investment the city can make in its residents?
I think the best investment that the city can make in its residents is establishing credibility of the leadership. If we say we're going to do something, we do it. If we can't do it, be transparent and tell them, hey, we're not going to be able to do this. This is what it's going to take to do it. For an example, if you would like to see 3 high schools within the city, give them a plan for 3 high schools, tell them what it's going to cost, and then say, okay, if this is what you want, we'll give you that opportunity to fund it. So things like that, being transparent with it, put it right out front, and show that you can carry through with what you say.
That's all the questions I had. Is there anything else you wanted to add?
Not today.